Everybody, today I am in Speedway, Indiana, which actually is its own separate town from Indianapolis. So you could be standing right where I'm standing along Main Street in downtown Speedway and say that you're in Indianapolis, but technically you wouldn't be. Now you are really right in the thick of it as far as Indianapolis is concerned, but your address is going to be Speedway. So we're going to explore this a little bit and just talk about Speedway in general, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Speedway, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, or any of the surrounding metro, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video each and every week. Now we get calls and texts and emails from people all over the country and all over the Indy metro with questions about places like Speedway or Indianapolis in general or any of the surrounding metro and the suburbs. So if you have questions about any of those and when it comes to your move, when you need that help, then make sure that you reach out. We love it when people do, and we love having people's back when they're making their move within Indy or to Indy. So in this video, we want to explore Speedway, Indiana just a little bit. And like I said at the beginning, Speedway is its own town. Now, it's an enclave of Indianapolis, so that means, it's buried right on the west side of Indianapolis, and it's completely surrounded by Indianapolis. But if you're in Speedway, then technically you've got a Speedway, Indiana address. It's its own separate town. And it's not a big town. It's roughly 12,000 people or so, and it's been this size for a good long time. Maybe growing just a little bit, but certainly not very fast at all. And it is a place that is really, of course, quite famous because of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is in Speedway, Indiana, technically. People say it's in Indianapolis, and you've got the Indianapolis 500 or the Indy 500 that happens here, but technically it is truthfully in Speedway. And I'm walking right along Main Street here in kind of the downtown Speedway. It's not very big at all, but it's a really neat little road and has all kinds of cool little shops and restaurants, bars, things like that. And it's absolutely, of course, during the month of May when the Indy 500 is going on, it is bustling. But Speedway was actually founded as a suburb. It's considered a suburb of Indianapolis, even though it's buried right in Indy. And we're only about 5 miles or so from downtown Indianapolis proper right now. And I'm really technically maybe a quarter of a mile from the track. It's straight up Main Street here. You take a right and boom, there it is. You can't miss it. The Speedway is a gargantuanly huge complex. It holds 250,000 people. There's roughly 300,000 people at the Indy 500, so obviously huge. So this right here, this street is bustling during the race and during that time or whenever any race is actually going on at the Speedway. It's pretty quiet right now, which is okay. But this area was founded as a suburb years and years ago, and it was and still is very industrial. There's some big industrial companies in this area, with one of the biggest being Allison Transmissions. And Allison has a really deep history in this particular area. They build transmissions for some heavy duty equipment. We're talking tractors, buses, things like that. And then also kind of a branch of that, Allison Engines, which is really truly a Rolls-Royce subsidiary now that was purchased by them a couple decades ago or so. That is an international aircraft engine manufacturer. So we're talking some massive, massive engines and really cool ones too. So it would be just general aviation airplanes, but also commercial airplanes like for the big carriers, but military too. So things like the Osprey, which, if you don't know, it's a aircraft that its humongous propellers can be pointed forward, so it's like an airplane, but then they can tilt up like a helicopter. Those are built there. So incredible, incredible place. So that's what I mean with Speedway, Indiana. It's very industrial, and it does have a little bit of that feel too. But of course, close to 12,000 people live in Speedway, so you have to have an opportunity to live here. And the housing options in Speedway are really some of the most affordable in Indianapolis for, I would say, a decent or a nice area. Now, not all of Speedway is perfect. There are some parts of Speedway that can get a little bit rough, but Speedway in general is a fairly nice place to live, and you can get a nice home in Speedway under $250,000. And that's one that's had some work done, it's been renovated. You're not gonna find a whole lot of really new homes in Speedway. It's been around for quite a few years, that's for sure. You know, this whole area, we're talking 100 years or so. So you can find some homes in here that are gonna need a tremendous amount of work too. Some real projects, no doubt about it. But a lot of homes that have been renovated and are in pretty good shape. Plus the schools in Speedway, the town of Speedway specifically, are actually really highly rated. They get an A on niche.com, which is a great place to check on school ratings anytime you're looking at a new area or just questions about an area, and can give you some ideas as to what it's like. So it is a fairly popular place, and it could be a pretty good place for somebody who works downtown, or of course works right here in Speedway. There's a lot of manufacturing here and a lot of manufacturing jobs. Or if you work somewhere along the west side of Indianapolis, it could be pretty centrally located. Now you'll have to fight a little bit of traffic here and there because it is just buried right in Indianapolis, and it's gonna have that feel. Even though you're living in the small town of Speedway, you're gonna feel like you're living in Indianapolis, in the city, because there's no break from Indianapolis to Speedway. It's just kind of a smooth transition, and you'll see signs that, yeah, you're on Speedway now, and of course, everything racing with regards to Speedway, you're gonna see those signs all over the place, and really all year long. So you'll have to deal with that just a little bit, but it could be a really good location for somebody who needs to be close to where they work right in Indianapolis. Now Speedway, it's an interesting place because of the racing, and I have to say that the only times I've really been to Speedway, of course, is to maybe look at some homes, but just for the race. We call it the race, even though there are multiple races at the Speedway each and every year, but for the Indy 500. And it is a pretty fun place. I'm not a giant race fan personally, but the Indy 500, you know, if you live in Indianapolis, of course, it's definitely something that you need to experience. And there's a couple different ways of doing it. You can sit in the stands, which is a very different experience than being in the infield. I can promise you I've been at both, and you can take the extremes for either, but they're both a really good time. Just a little bit different, that's all. So Speedway, a really great location with plenty of opportunity for relatively inexpensive housing. So if you have any questions at all about Speedway, Indiana, or Indianapolis in general, or any of the surrounding metro, then make sure that you reach out any way that you know how. And we'll absolutely have your back with those questions and your move within or to any of those areas. So until the next one, we'll see you later.